At the very heart of our galaxy, the Milky Way, there's a monster. It's the supermassive black hole Sagittarius A, and for decades, we've thought of it as a gentle giant, a sleeping beast with the mass of 4 million suns. But what if that quiet calm is just a temporary lie? Thanks to new discoveries, we now have a kind of time machine made of X-ray echoes, and it's telling a totally different story. It's a story of a violent past, where just a couple of centuries ago, the center of our galaxy was ablaze with energy. So, let's journey back in time and uncover the secret, violent life of our galaxy's black hole. So how does this time machine even work? It's all about something called a light echo. Imagine shouting into a canyon and hearing your voice bounce back a second later. Light does the exact same thing in space. When Sagittarius A erupts, it blasts powerful flares of X-rays out in all directions. Some of that light travels straight to us, but other parts take a much longer, scenic route. They travel for centuries until they slam into giant, cold clouds of gas floating near our galactic center. These massive clouds, which should be dark, instead act like cosmic mirrors. They reflect the X-rays from that ancient flare, and that reflected light, that X-ray echo, is what finally reaches our telescopes today. By studying these echoes, astronomers can essentially press replay on an event that happened hundreds of years ago, long before we had telescopes powerful enough to have seen it directly. And what a story these echoes are telling. For years, scientists were puzzled because these giant gas clouds were shining with X-rays far more brightly than they should. Where was all this energy coming from? The Sagittarius A we see today is way too quiet to be the cause. The answer came from a new generation of X-ray space telescopes. By studying the properties of this X-ray light, especially its polarization, which is basically the direction the light waves are oriented, scientists could trace it back to its source. The light wasn't coming from the clouds themselves, it was a reflection. And the compass of that polarization pointed directly back to one culprit, Sagittarius A. The data revealed something shocking. About 200 years ago, sometime in the early 1800s, our supposedly sleeping giant woke up and unleashed an incredibly intense, short-lived flare. For roughly a year, the black hole feasted on gas and dust that strayed too close, and in the process, it became immensely brighter, perhaps even 1,000,000 times more luminous than it is today. Our galaxy's heart wasn't sleeping, it was raging. That X-ray echo is the smoking gun, the proof that our black hole has a secret, violent side. It's discoveries like these that completely flip our understanding of our own galaxy. If you're fascinated by the violent secrets our universe is hiding, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. We're always exploring the very edge of what's known. This 200-year-old flare isn't just a one-off event. By studying echoes bouncing off different gas clouds, astronomers using observatories like Chandra have found evidence for at least 2 other major outbursts in just the last few hundred years. It seems Sagittarius A has a habit of waking up for these brief, violent feasts before dozing off again. So what's causing these cosmic outbursts? The most likely culprits are things that wander a little too close to the black hole's insane gravity. This could be anything from a huge clump of gas to an entire star or planet getting ripped to shreds and devoured. We've even seen hints of this recently. In 2015, Chandra spotted a flare that was 400 times brighter than normal, possibly from an unlucky asteroid getting gobbled up. The reason Sagittarius A is so quiet most of the time is that it's a surprisingly finicky eater. Most of the gas swirling around it actually gets flung back out into space. Less than 1% of it ever makes it past the point of no return. But every few centuries, a big enough meal comes along, and the monster awakens. So, the quiet giant at our galaxy's center? It isn't really that quiet at all. It's just sleeping. The X-ray echoes ringing through our galactic center are a constant reminder of its chaotic past and its potential for future fury. We aren't living with a gentle giant, but a sleeping dragon that stirs every now and then. As our telescopes get even more powerful, we'll keep listening to these cosmic echoes, piecing together the secret life of the monster in the middle of the Milky Way, and waiting to see what it does next.